This is from my list, Top 10 Tips for Mastering Guitar. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Tip number 7 is step-by-step guitar instruction. I know, this seems self-serving, but if I really wanted it to be self-serving, I could have made it the number 1 tip. It's 7. Truth is, there are many great guitarists that never had formal instruction. Although they didn't study a step-by-step method, you can bet that all of them learned from other guitar players and probably some really great professional players. But that's not the point of this topic. So here we go. When I get up in the morning, I have a ritual that begins with making coffee and continues through unwrapping my newspaper and setting out a few vitamins. Must stay healthy. One morning I was a bit groggy. Making the coffee was no problem, but when I opened the cabinet to put my vitamins together, I could only find 2 of the 3 bottles. I rummaged around, moving cups and coffee supplies, but couldn't find the 3rd bottle. So I looked at the 2 on the counter to figure out which one was missing. Fish oil. I was missing fish oil. Okay, I got to pause here. You're probably thinking, what does this have to do with guitar lessons? I'm getting there. Okay, so now that I know that it's fish oil, I visualize the bottle, look into the cabinet, and it was right in front of me. How could I miss something so obvious? Then I muttered something to myself. It's so much easier to find something if you know what you're looking for. Brilliant. I started off the day with a quotable quote. And then I began thinking about that phrase. It's so much easier to find something if you know what you're looking for. That is the inspiration for tip number 7. You need a step-by-step program to take you from your current level of experience to where you want to go. When you work with a good instructor, they have a program to teach what is right for you at your current stage of development. It's not about doing a Google search on what you believe is the next step. You haven't been there, and there's a pretty good chance that your lack of experience doesn't allow you to chart out the next move. For example, if I look at your playing technique, I could quickly point out what you're doing right and what needs some work. Most of the time, a student has no idea that different aspects of their technique are causing major problems with their performance. That is until their technique is scrutinized by an instructor or a trusted pro. This doesn't just apply to beginners and intermediates. I can look at an advanced player's technique and usually find a major problem, and it's often something that has held them back from attaining their goals. So back to the quote that I mentioned at the beginning of this. It's so much easier to find something if you know what you're looking for. Once an instructor says that you're not bending notes to pitch, for example, you know what needs to be corrected. Then a Google search can be very helpful as long as it doesn't conflict with the advice from your teacher. So now let's talk about personal instructors. Most don't have a step-by-step program to follow. When you arrive at your lesson, the teacher's first question is, that's right. So what do you want to work on today? I've been there. This isn't good. Chances are the instructor hasn't made any notes on what was accomplished last week. So you're off to a fresh new beginning with each lesson. Even so, if an instructor like this is your only choice, you can take control of the situation and gain from it. After each lesson, you make notes about what was accomplished. At the beginning of your next lesson, review your notes with the instructor and have her sign off on the lesson. Prove that you accomplished that lesson's goals before moving on. Now, guitar instructors are usually, maybe always, underpaid. To make ends meet, many are only willing to dole out a little information in each lesson. If you're not making progress, speak up. Be sure that you leave the lesson with enough of a workload to carry you through to the next lesson. Now, currently, I'm willing to check your progress for free. That may change in the future. If so, the change will appear as a title down here someplace. For now, shoot a quick video of you playing one of my exercises. Upload it to your YouTube channel, set the video to unlisted, and send me the link. I love seeing students play along with my lesson exercises. It gives me the opportunity to make modifications to the lesson and to make changes in a future lesson revision. It allows us to work on this program together. Even more important, it allows you to move forward with confidence or continue working on the lesson until it's accomplished. Speaking of accomplishing a lesson, let's begin today's lesson. It's a good one.